The scans make no sense, Selar said, his three-fingered hands trembling as he reviewed the medical readouts for the seventh time. Commander Zara, I've been a physician for 40 cycles. I've treated combat injuries from the Vraxian Wars, toxin exposure from the Delphini incident, even radiation burns from standing too close to a pulsar. But this shouldn't be possible. Zara leaned over the medical bay's central console, her translucent skin flickering with anxiety patterns. Through the observation window, Korvax, the Vraxian Empire's most decorated warrior, survivor of 32 combat engagements, holder of the Crimson Star for valor, lay motionless on a medical platform designed for critical trauma cases. According to YouTube analytics, 99.6% of viewers are not subscribed. That's a huge number. By subscribing the channel that is completely free, you'll help support the channel and never miss fresh content. Explain it to me again, Zara said quietly, slowly. His right arm is shattered in 17 places, Zilar began, pulling up a three-dimensional skeletal scan. The radius and ulna have compound fractures. 3 of his primary muscle groups are torn completely. Neural pathways are damaged. We're talking about potential permanent motor function loss. His pain receptors are so overloaded that we've had to put him in an induced coma just to prevent shock-related organ failure. From what? Selar's skin color shifted to a sickly gray. From someone grabbing his wrist, Commander. Zara's own skin went pale. That's impossible. Vraxians have bone density 3 times that of standard galactic species. Korvax specifically has survived direct plasma burns, explosive decompression, and hand-to-hand combat with a Thoraxian berserker. What kind of weapon? No weapon, Commander. Sealer pulled up the security footage timestamp. Just contact, physical contact. The security feed played on the holographic display. Station Corridor 7 Beta, near the sanitation supply closet. Time Index 0847 Station Standard. Emma Johnson, human female, station janitorial staff, was restocking cleaning supplies onto her cart. She wore the standard-issue gray coveralls with her name embroidered on the pocket. Her hair was pulled back in what humans called a ponytail. Korvax approached her, his bulk impressive even on the 2-dimensional security feed. Audio captured his voice. You, human. Your cleaning schedule interferes with my training rotation. Change it. Emma didn't look up from her cart. Can't. I clean during off-peak hours. That's literally my job. I am not asking, human. Korvax reached out and grabbed Emma's collar with his right hand, yanking her upward. The human's feet left the ground. You will... Emma's left hand moved. The security footage showed her speed at 0.3 meters per second, completely normal human reaction time, nothing exceptional. She simply reached up and wrapped her fingers around Korvax's wrist. The audio caught Korvax's roar of pain. His legs buckled. Emma's expression shifted from annoyed to concerned as the massive warrior collapsed, cradling his arm. She released him immediately. Oh God. Are you okay? Emma's voice on the recording. I just wanted you to let go of my... Hey, someone call medical. The footage ended there. Zara stared at the frozen image. Play it again, slower. They watched 5 more times. Each time the same result. Emma's gentle, careful movement, Korvax's catastrophic injury. Commander, Zilar said softly, I need to ask a question that sounds insane. What weapon was the human carrying? According to security logs? None. She's a janitorial staff member with level 2 clearance. She can't access anything more dangerous than industrial-grade cleaning solution. Then we have a problem. Selar pulled up another scan, this one showing cellular damage. Because whatever touched Korvax's wrist delivered approximately 4,500 newtons of pressure. That's equivalent to a hydraulic press. A small one, but still. Zara's communication implant chimed. She answered, and the voice of Council Arbiter Jotaro filled the medical bay. Commander Zara, I'm seeing reports of a critical injury to a Vraxian warrior on your station. The Vraxian embassy is demanding answers. They're threatening to classify this as an act of war if... Sir, we're still investigating. Investigate faster. If a human has brought an illegal weapon onto a diplomatic station, the consequences will be severe. I'm ordering the human detained and questioned immediately. Emma sat in the security office, still wearing her cleaning coveralls, looking profoundly confused. Across the table, Zara tried to project authority, while simultaneously trying to understand how this small, seemingly fragile creature could have hospitalized a warrior. Ms. Johnson, Zara began, do you understand why you're here? Because that big jerk grabbed my collar and hurt himself? Emma shrugged. Look, I'm really sorry he's injured, but I literally just wanted him to let go. Do you have any idea how hard coffee stains are to get out of this fabric? I just got this uniform cleaned. You just wanted him to let go, Zara repeated slowly. Yeah, he was being rude, and I had a cart full of supplies to put away. I didn't have time for whatever dominance display thing he was doing. And how exactly did you get him to let go? Emma looked at Zara like she'd asked what color the sky was. I grabbed his wrist and removed his hand from my collar. Is this a trick question? Can you describe how hard you grabbed? I don't know. Normal. Like when you want someone to stop doing something? I wasn't trying to hurt him. I just wanted him to... Emma paused. Wait. Why is this a big deal? Did I actually hurt him? Zara pulled up the medical scans on her tablet, turning it so Emma could see. Ms. Johnson, Korvax is in critical condition. 17 fractures, torn muscle tissue, severe nerve damage. Our physicians say he may never regain full use of that arm. Emma's face went white. From me grabbing his wrist? Yes. But I barely... Emma stood up, pacing. That's not possible. I mean, I'm not exactly a bodybuilder. I clean floors for a living. How could I... She stopped, turning back to Zara. What the hell are your people made of, tissue paper? Zara felt a cold sensation in her core. Excuse me? I'm serious. Are you guys really fragile, or is this some kind of prank? Because humans aren't exactly known for being super strong. We're pretty average, biologically speaking. Average, Zara said faintly. Compared to what? Compared to other humans? Emma sat back down. Look, I don't understand what's happening here. On Earth, I'm completely normal. I'm actually kind of wimpy. I can't even open pickle jars without running them under hot water first. My nephew is stronger than me, and he's 12. Zara's implant chimed again. Zilar's voice. Commander, we need you in Medical Lab 3. Immediately. We've been running comparative analyses, and you need to see this. Medical Lab 3 was filled with holographic displays, each showing different data sets. Zilar stood in the center, surrounded by 3 other physicians and 2 xenobiologists. All of them had the same expression, existential dread. Tell me, Zara said. Dr. Vexia, the senior xenobiologist, spoke first. We pulled Emma Johnson's medical file from her employment records. Standard human physiology, age 32, height 1.65 meters, mass 68 kilograms, nothing exceptional. She's actually below average for human females in terms of muscle mass and bone density. And we compared her physiological data to Galactic standard species. Vexia pulled up a comparison chart. Commander, the average human has approximately 2.7 times the bone density of a Vraxian. Their muscle fiber composition is fundamentally different. They have what's called fast twitch and slow twitch muscle fibers that can generate enormous force relative to their size. Zilar added, we also reviewed Earth's environmental data. Commander, humans evolved on a high-gravity world. Earth's gravitational pull is 9.8 meters per second squared. Galactic standard is 6.2. The Vraxian homeworld is 5.8. Zara felt dizzy. You're saying humans are naturally stronger because of gravity? It's not just gravity, another physician, R. Hill, interjected. It's everything. Earth's atmospheric pressure is higher. The oxygen concentration is toxic to most species. Humans need it to function. Their planet has extreme temperature variations, radiation exposure from their star, and an absurd number of predators and environmental hazards. Commander, by any reasonable measure, Earth is a Class 12 death world. Death world, Zara repeated numbly. Humans are apex persistence predators, Vexia continued. On Earth, they literally chased prey until the prey died of exhaustion. Their bodies are designed for endurance, recovery, and extreme stress tolerance. They have redundant organs, excessive healing factors, and pain tolerance that borders on the supernatural. Zilar pulled up a new scan. We tested Emma Johnson's grip strength this afternoon with her permission. Her casual, relaxed grip, the kind she'd use to hold a cleaning tool, measures at approximately 180 newtons. When we asked her to grip as hard as comfortable, she reached 450 newtons. We didn't ask for maximum grip because, frankly, we were afraid of damaging the testing equipment. How much did she use on Korvax? Based on the injury pattern and our calculations, approximately 135 newtons, less than her relaxed grip. She was being gentle, Commander. The room fell silent. Zara's voice came out as a whisper. What's her maximum grip strength? The xenobiologists exchanged glances. Vexia finally answered, We don't know, but based on human medical literature and comparative anatomy, we estimate somewhere between 1,200 and 1,500 newtons. Maybe more if she's trained or under adrenaline response. That's impossible. We thought so too, but then we reviewed other human-alien physical contact incidents across the station. Rahil pulled up a list. Last month, a human engineer named Michael Taylor helped a Delphini worker who had fallen. The Delphini reported minor bruising on his arm where the human grabbed him. We dismissed it as clumsiness. 3 weeks ago, a human teacher broke up a fight between two juvenile quarians. Both students reported soreness afterward. Again, we assumed accident. Commander, humans have been on this station for 8 months. They've been constantly, carefully restraining themselves during every single physical interaction. Zara sat down heavily. They think we're the fragile ones. They know we're the fragile ones, Zilar corrected. Humans are taught from childhood to control their strength. It's called being gentle. They learn it so young, it becomes unconscious. Emma Johnson didn't hurt Korvax intentionally. She just forgot to account for how much weaker he was than a human child. The emergency Galactic Council session was held via holographic conference. 17 species representatives materialized in the station's council chamber. Council Arbiter Jitaro presided, his 4 eyes scanning the assembled delegates. We're here to discuss the incident between Korvax of the Vraxian Empire and Emma Johnson, human civilian. Commander Zara, your report. Zara transmitted the medical data, the environmental analyses, and the comparative physiology studies. She watched as, one by one, the council members' expressions shifted from indignation to confusion to horror. The Vraxian ambassador Durax spoke first. You're telling this council that humans are, what, super soldiers hiding as civilians? No, Ambassador. We're telling you that humans are ordinary civilians from a death world, and we've been catastrophically wrong about their capabilities. This is absurd, Durax continued. The human mining colonies use standard equipment. Human traders follow standard safety protocols. If they were so physically powerful, why would they? Because they're being polite, Vexia interrupted. Ambassador, humans use our equipment because they can, not because they need to. A human could probably tear open an airlock door with their bare hands if they chose to. They use the door controls because it's easier, and because forcibly opening doors would damage station property. Another council member, a Delphini named Sinara, asked, What about human medical facilities? We've reviewed their hospitals. They have extensive trauma centers, emergency surgeries, intensive care units. If humans are so robust, why? Because humans hurt each other, Zeeler said quietly. Human-on-human violence is scaled to human durability. What would kill most of us is a minor injury to them. Their medical science evolved to deal with damage that would be instantly lethal to galactic standard species. Jotaro's skin was cycling through colors rapidly, a sign of extreme stress. Are we to understand that humanity has been present in galactic society for 6 cycles, and we never realize they're functionally indestructible compared to us? Not indestructible, Vexia corrected, but significantly more durable. More importantly, they've been carefully not hurting us this entire time. Every handshake, every pat on the back, every physical interaction, humans have been consciously moderating their strength. Why didn't they tell us? Someone asked. Zara pulled up Emma Johnson's interview transcript. Because they didn't realize they needed to. From the human perspective, they're the normal ones. They assumed galactic species were roughly equivalent to them physically. The concept that they're unusually strong never occurred to them because, among humans, they're average. The council chamber dissolved into chaos. Accusations flew. Some demanded humans be reclassified as dangerous. Others worried about the political implications. The Vraxian ambassador was calling for a formal inquiry into human military capabilities. Jotaro called for order. Enough. We need to address immediate concerns. First, the human, Emma Johnson. What are we charging her with? Nothing, Zara said firmly. Nothing? She acted in self-defense. Korvax grabbed her aggressively. She removed his hand using what she considered minimal force. She had no knowledge that such contact would cause injury. She immediately called for medical assistance. By any standard of galactic law, she's innocent. The Vraxian Empire will not accept. The Vraxian Empire, Zara interrupted, will accept reality. One of your warriors assaulted a civilian who responded with appropriate force. That he was injured is unfortunate, but it's not her fault that he attacked someone far more durable than himself. Durax's mandibles clicked in anger, but he said nothing. Second concern, Jotaro continued, how do we prevent this from happening again? Education and protocol revision, Vexia suggested. We need to inform all species about human physical capabilities. We need safety guidelines for human-alien physical contact. We need to stop treating humans like they're fragile, Zara said. We've been accommodating them as if they're delicate, when in reality, we're the ones who need accommodation. 3 days later, Emma returned to work. The station had changed. There were new signs posted. Caution, human physical contact requires safety certification. Aliens gave her a wide berth in corridors. Some species crossed to the other side of the hallway when they saw her coming. She was restocking supplies when Zara found her. Ms. Johnson, how are you adjusting? Emma snorted. You mean to everyone treating me like I'm radioactive? It's weird, Commander. I'm the same person I was last week. You are, but our understanding of you has changed. Because I accidentally hurt that asshole who grabbed me. Emma set down a bottle of floor cleaner with exaggerated care. I really am sorry about that, by the way. How's he doing? Korvax is recovering. He'll regain most of the function in his arm. He's also, and I was asked to convey this to you, deeply apologetic. He violated station protocols by initiating aggressive physical contact. The Vraxian embassy has formally apologized. Great, so everyone's apologizing to everyone, and now I'm the scary one. Emma laughed, but it sounded hollow. Commander, I'm a janitor. I clean floors. I'm not some kind of super soldier. I can barely do 10 push-ups. 10 push-ups in Earth gravity, Zara corrected gently. Ms. Johnson, you need to understand. Your barely is extraordinary to us. A fit Vraxian warrior can do perhaps 20 push-ups in their home gravity, which is lower than yours. You can do 10 in higher gravity and consider yourself out of shape. Emma stared at her. Are you serious? Completely. Would you do something for me? Zara pulled out a standard ration container, the kind used throughout the station, with a lid that required approximately 30 newtons of force to open. Emma took it and popped it open one-handed, barely paying attention. Zara winced. That container is labeled Heavy Machinery Required in 3 languages. This is a container. It's just... Emma looked at the label, then at Zara, then back at the container. Oh shit. Now you understand. I've been opening these for 8 months. I thought you guys just had annoying packaging. We do, for us. Zara pulled up her tablet. The station is implementing new protocols. All physical contact with humans requires prior safety training. Humans will be given warnings before participating in activities that involve physical proximity. We're redesigning equipment to account for human strength levels. So I'm being segregated. No, we're being realistic. Ms. Johnson, Emma, you're not a monster, you're a human. But humans are fundamentally different from most galactic species in ways we didn't understand. We need time to adjust. Emma was quiet for a moment. Then, can I ask you something? Honestly? Of course. Did you guys really think humans were weak? Zara considered the question. We thought you were standard, average, unremarkable physically speaking. Your technology is impressive, your cultural adaptability is excellent, but we assumed your bodies were typical. And now we know humans evolved on a planet that would kill most of us in hours. You're adapted to an environment we consider hostile. What you think of as normal, your strength, your endurance, your durability, is exceptional to us. Terrifying even. Emma laughed, and this time it was genuine. That's the weirdest compliment I've ever received. Congratulations, you're terrifying. It's not meant as a compliment or an insult, it's simply truth. Zara hesitated, then continued. For what it's worth, the Council is debating whether to reclassify humans from Category 3, standard biological, to Category 7, potentially hazardous organisms. Organisms. Wow. I'm voting against it. You're not organisms to be categorized. You're sapient beings who have been remarkably patient with our misconceptions. But Emma, you need to understand, the galaxy has to adjust to you, not the other way around. 2 weeks later, Emma was back to her normal routine. Mostly. The wide berth and corridors had lessened. The fearful stares had reduced. Aliens still watched her carefully when she moved, but it felt less like fear and more like caution. Korvax had been released from medical. He'd sent her a formal apology in writing, along with a traditional Vraxian gift, a blade made of folded metal, the kind given to respected warriors. Emma had accepted it politely and mounted it on her quarters wall next to a poster of Earth's Grand Canyon. She was mopping Corridor 7 Beta, the same corridor where it had all started, when she heard a small voice. Excuse me? Emma turned. A small alien child, perhaps equivalent to a human 6-year-old, was looking up at her. The child's parent stood several meters away, watching nervously. Yes, sweetie? Can you help me? I dropped my toy up there. The child pointed to a maintenance panel about 3 meters up the wall. Emma smiled. She made a show of moving very slowly, very deliberately. She reached up, her human height plus arm length making the panel easily accessible, and retrieved the small toy. She handed it down to the child with exaggerated gentleness. Here you go. Be careful with it, okay? Thank you. The child scampered back to its parent. The parent approached cautiously. Thank you, Ms. Johnson. That was kind. No problem. Kids lose stuff. It happens. Emma noticed the parent's nervous posture. Hey, I'm not going to hurt anyone. I know things got weird, but I'm just trying to do my job and help where I can. I know. It's just adjustment. My child doesn't fear humans, but I remember when we thought you were like us. And now? Now I know you could probably tear through a bulkhead if you wanted to, but you don't want to. That matters. Emma watched the parent and child walk away. She turned back to her mop and cart, shaking her head. Back to mopping, she muttered to herself. At least the floors can't file assault charges. She chuckled at her own joke, squeezed the excess water from the mop with one hand, unaware that she was applying roughly 400 newtons of pressure, and continued down the corridor. Behind her, 2 Delphini maintenance workers watched her go. Did you see that? See what? She just crushed that mop handle. There are stress fractures in the metal. Should we report it? Report what? That a human squeezed something? That's just what they do now. The worker pulled up a maintenance request form. I'll just order a new mop, a reinforced one. Add it to the list with all the other equipment we're upgrading. The list is getting long. It'll get longer. Humans are permanent residents now. We adapt or we keep replacing equipment. Or keep repairing warriors who don't understand what gentle means to a human. They both laughed nervously and returned to work. In her office, Zara filed her final report on the incident. She included all medical data, comparative analyses, and recommendations. Her final note read, "Humanity represents a unique challenge to galactic integration. They are simultaneously our most compatible and most dangerous neighbors. Not because they are violent, they are remarkably peaceful. Not because they are aggressive, they are generally cooperative. They are dangerous because they are strong and because they do not realize their own strength. The Korvax incident was not an attack. It was a misunderstanding, a failure of our assumptions about human biology. We assumed similarity where none existed. We projected our own physical limitations onto a species that evolved under fundamentally different conditions. Humans do not need to change. We do. We need new protocols, new training, new awareness. We need to accept that these beings from Earth are fundamentally different from us in ways we must respect and accommodate. Most importantly, we need to remember, when a human says they're being gentle, they're not joking. They're being literal, and we should be grateful for their gentleness because the alternative is not hostility. It's simply humans being themselves in all their terrifying, durable, impossibly strong glory. Recommendation: approve all proposed safety protocols. Mandate human-alien interaction training for all station personnel. Reclassify human strength as exceptional rather than standard. And perhaps most critically, thank whatever cosmic force made humans our friends instead of our enemies. End report. Zara transmitted the report to the council and leaned back in her chair. Through her office window, she could see Emma in the distance, pushing her cart down a corridor. Just another human, doing another mundane job. Except now Zara knew the truth. There was nothing mundane about humans at all. Her communication implant chimed. Selar's voice. "Commander, we have a situation. A human cargo worker just lifted a container marked, 'Requires mechanical assistance.' By himself. The other workers are panicking." Zara sighed deeply. "Tell them it's fine. It's just what humans do." "Should we update the weight limit signs? Add, 'except for humans' to all the warnings. We're going to be doing that a lot from now on." She ended the call and returned to her paperwork, making a mental note to schedule more safety training sessions. Working with humans, she reflected, was going to require extensive adjustments, but at least they were all still alive to make those adjustments. And given what she now knew about human capabilities, that was something to be genuinely grateful for.